Yeah, hopefully.
Uh,
So
yeah.
what's for the long weekend?
Just today, I think I'll just do like some cleaning around, some
Mm,
gardening,
yeah.
and then maybe we'll come down that side for a day or two in Niagara.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, just to get the kids. Yeah, just to get the kids on the water parks. Yeah.
Ah,
So, mm-hmm.
any
That's
place
what I'm
in
doing.
specific? Oh yeah, in Niagara
Ah,
Falls.
yes, yeah, Niagara Falls. It's so
Ah,
cute.
okay. The water parks, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So those things are water parks, right? So.
Oh yeah, a lot. There's a couple of hotels that have those nice water parks.
Yeah.
Like the what you call it? I forget the name. I forget the name. I think
Yeah,
at
the
the Sheraton.
falls,
At the falls.
Sheraton, yes.
Sorry,
Sheraton is the one that has it. I think Sheraton is the one that
Sheraton.
has the
Yeah,
water. Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
Sheraton. That's what I was thinking. Sheraton and
Yeah.
in Niagara on the Lake. There's one at what you call it? There's one at Niagara. It's a lodge. There's a lodge there.
The
Niagara on
Wolf
the Lake.
Lodge?
Yeah, Niagara on the Lake. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
the
it's
Wolf.
called Great
Yeah,
the Wolf
Great Wolf
Lodge,
Lodge. Yeah,
yes.
they've got one
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. They've got
Yeah,
one
those
as
things are, yeah, especially this, like around this time,
well.
this period, those things are fully booked
Oh yes.
and the prices go up, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Especially now with the long weekend. Oh man.
Yo, my goodness, yeah. Because some people probably have days off, yeah. So I think Sheraton is the one that
Uh-huh.
made sense, right? Because then it's
Yeah,
like you're just inside what is the water park,
exactly.
and that one is
Mhm.
not as pricey.
Uh,
So yeah, so we
Mr.
look into that.
Mr. Simukonda, welcome, Mr. Simukonda. Rachtumba.
Nitabale Onfavutika.
I think it's dropped out.
Looks like he must be having the same communication connection issue you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. So did you
Mm.
book in advance?
No, it's just we're supposed to go to Sandusky.
Uh-huh.
Initially, that was the plan to go to Sandusky, Ohio. Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
now it's a long trip,
yeah,
and
yeah.
just like also in arena, it looks like the rates changed as well.
Oh.
So yeah, I was just like I just do a day here, shorter drive, more
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
yeah, and then I have like a work discounts with the
Oh,
Marriott
yeah.
hotels. Yeah, but I'm not sure if they do when it's busy. But either way,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
one night, right? You just do one night. If I come out park,
Mhm. Yes,
there's other
very
things to
important.
do there, and then you visit some people around there as well.
Mhm.
A
Yeah,
weekend, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Rachtumba, you're back now. Can you hear us? Mr. Stumba.
Wale umfika wachumba.
Waputuka futi.
Mm. Yeah, like you
So,
said,
so, uh,
it looks like nan kan network itairi wino, ka?
that's true. It's network problems. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
network, network
Yeah.
problem for Zambia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
so,
but some of the people connecting are connecting from Zambia.
yeah,
Oh, interesting. That's good.
yeah, yeah. So, hey, Mr. Jeremy, how are you? Right, Jeremy, at San. Hello, can you hear us, Jeremy?
I can only hear you right now.
Oh, you can only hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine, Bachanda. How are you?
Oh, Africa, no.
Okay, I'm good. How are you?
You can't hear me?
Hello. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear us?
Tulivyo bwino Bachanda. Mlengufwa bati. Mlengufwa.
That's
Today
me.
you will. Yeah, we can hear
Ndemyumfwa
you
loud
loud
and
and clear.
clear. Ndemyumfwa.
At least,
Okay.
tamule umfika kwati muri mukakopo.
How come ndemyumfwa?
No,
Yeah, umfika
no, we
kwa
can
wino
hear
no
you.
bab.
I'm very fine. Yali koza network pano pazedi.
Paramwatila umfika kwati muri muchikopo.
Yeah, I can hear you very loud and clear actually.
That's
Okay,
But
that's
great.
Brian, are
good.
you getting me?
I tell me for we know see, eh?
Uh,
Eh?
Oh,
Tumba,
thank
are you
you.
here now? Tumba, are you now here?
Yeah, how are you? Yes, I can get you loud and clear. How are you, everyone?
Good, good.
Good, good,
Loud
good.
and clear. We can hear you now. Looks like you had a problem
Thank
connecting.
you. Yes, issue is network issue.
Oh, network issue. Yeah. Well, I think we can start the show. I think the best way is to introduce ourselves. Just talk briefly about yourself, and so that the public know who you are, and where you broadcasting live from. And then so I think what we'll do is we'll start with our friends from Zambia. Um, Jeremy, Anika, you can start and then introduce yourself to the platform. Of course, it's the red tag, and you can introduce yourself so that everybody knows, who you are, and yeah, briefly. Are you there?
I can hear you. I'm still
But
here.
Mr. Jeremy, are you there? Oh, he had. Oh, I thought it was. Oh, okay. He's the one that dropped out. Yeah, network issues. Hey,
Na
so
issue pale line.
nice super network.
Mm.
So who can start? You can start. Tumba. Introduce yourself briefly, and then we go by Jeremy, and then Brian, and then myself, just to introduce ourselves and to the platform as well.
Okay, thank you very much. And how are you, everyone? Yeah, I'm Simkonda Chtumba, broadcasting from Zambia, Eastern Province, Peta.
Oh, here we go again.
There you go again, yeah.
Yeah, are you getting me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you.
I think we just said Eastern Province. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's dropped out. Is
yeah.
it?
The network is a big problem. Okay, yeah. My name is Jerome Kanika. Yeah, broadcasting from definitely Lusaka, Zambia.
Nice. Welcome, welcome. And Tumba is back. Ah, this network yala shupa. So Tumba is in
Yeah,
Beta UK.
network is not doing fine. It's not treating me well, eh?
Mm.
Yeah. So people just said they heard you just say Peta UK. Peta UK. And Peta UK, that's what the other guy used to call it, that Peta UK.
Better UK. Nice one.
Our former MP, he used to call
Mm.
Peta UK. It's Peta
Better
UK.
UK. That's what by the way, guys, everybody, that's what my village is, eh?
Oh, nice.
Mm.
Okay.
Chief Commander Bantu.
Ah,
Mm.
Okay.
Chief Mwanjavanti village, yeah. So
oh,
nice to hear that you got a colleague joining us from that side of our roots.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So, yeah, so Mr. Brand, you can also just briefly, introduce yourself, and then
yeah, so
we'll begin the
yeah,
show.
so I guess you just said my name is Brian Sakala, and broadcasting live from Canada, Ontario, Canada, Ontario. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. And of course, my name is Chanda Chufia. I'm also broadcasting live from Ontario, Canada. And of course, we here at the Red Tag Media Podcast. Here it's where we share, ideas, exchange brilliant ideas, and talk about, of course, the motherland. See what kind of solutions we can offer, and just educate each other on certain national issues that are happening. And yeah, welcome everybody. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule just to be here, guys. Thank you. We appreciate your time. Some people have got families and all that. It's not that easy. So, after all that being said, we got various topics this week. So, of course, we're looking at what's been happening. The elephant in the room. We all know about the saga that's between the stalemate between the government and the Lungu family. And certain circles they're saying no. They're using Lungu's dead body, to as a bargaining chip, or try to put the government at ransom, it's so on and so forth. And there's been that back and forth, until, of course, we saw, Attorney General Kabesha, he had to intervene and file in the courts of South Africa, a stay, meaning that, they had to stop them from burying in South Africa, so that they can negotiate, negotiate and see how they can bring back our former leader and be buried the way he's supposed to be buried, among his fellow, former presidents. So, yeah, so that's one of the topics. And of course, we also have to, let me just bring in Jeremy dropped out. Okay, so yeah. So, so there's that topic of the stalemate. And of course, we're talking about the Constitution Amendment of Bill 7, it's been deferred so that there's a wider consultation, which everybody was actually crying for. They say, we need to have a wider consultation. So that, and of course, we're talking about the Former President Act. We should all chip in, and what does it say really? I mean, why is the family saying, he was stripped out of his benefits by the government, and he was treated poorly and unfairly? That's why there's all this happening. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we all went through the topics. So I would, since we have our brothers in Zambia that are having network problem, I think it's only wise that you guys start. I don't know if Rachtumba, you want to go first? You can go first, and just give on the first topic, which is the stalemate between the Lungu family, and the government. Why all this back and forth? I mean, why don't they just bring him and bury him? Why is all this happening? Like, why is the Zambian government being embarrassed? Are you there, Bachitumba?
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's very unfortunate, especially to reach where we've reached today, especially when the burying of the former president is concerned. I think all of us and everyone, the entire Zambia, I think the question that we have is why? I think that's the question that everyone was asking ourselves, but why have we reached this? But following on those reasons that maybe the family is giving, to my view, to my side, I think those are not the reasons behind, because those reasons, for me, it's not making logic to say these are the reason why it can make us to reach up to this far. I think today I had an opportunity. I went through the Former President Act, what it says, because I was following to the issues that they are raising to say, no, the government didn't treat well the former president. So maybe the question, how the family expected the government to treat the former president, because
everything I think what the government is doing or it does, it's there it's from the constitution. So now I think there should be about six or more than those benefits to the former president. Yes, the first one, I think the president has the first one is the pensions. So when someone loses power and then become a former president, I think the first point, maybe what you have to understand is that when someone become a president, that person was not a former president or is not a president for the party, is a president for the Zambia, not for the political party or the family. Is a president of the country. That's why they came up with this act, which means to support the former president. If, for example, like someone loses power, it goes to the political parties. I think Ngatakwadi all this act, but they said, no, we have to take care of the president until the time the president is gone. So the pension, which means the president is entitled to 80%. 80% of the salary of the incumbent president is entitled to that, which means that when you resign, after losing power, we have to resign from active politics. And I think the same act also, it's well stipulated down there. What does it mean, active politics? So these are the issues I think the family, they have to look at. And then now, everything what happens now to the former president and everything. So now, after when the president resigned, he resigned from active politics. He was receiving the benefit, I'm sure he was receiving. So he's entitled to 80%. And also staff support, which means he was given, he's supposed to be given 3 security and 3 supporting staffs as a former president. Vehicles, which is supposed to be given 3 vehicles, drivers and fuel. And also is entitled to other benefit, which is the diplomatic passport, which means he can go anywhere where he wants. If he wants to go to holidays, he can go. I think I'm sure even I heard even Tayari was saying, I think there's a time where he went to, I think should be South Korea, he went as a former president. So now the issue came in when he said, now I'm back into active politics. What is the same law says? Which means when you come back into active politics, you lose all these benefits. That is what he says. And him, he was aware of that same. So if I'm going back into active politics, I'm going to lose all these benefits. And he mentioned the time he was coming back to say, for the benefits, I don't care. He was aware. So now, what happens now when he came into politics? He was not a former president, he was in active politics, which means now this, for him, he was not occupying this office as a former president. So the treatment should be different. So those issues, no, he went to South Africa as a private person. Yes, he went to South Africa as a private person because he was what? He was in active politics. If he was not in active politics, the government is supposed to sponsor everything. So those issues, I know he came here. So coming back to Zambia, he came as a private person. It's not adding up. It's not adding up. So he was now in the battlefield as a politician, in active politics. So that's why he was received all those attacks because he was in active politics, and also he was attacking the president, the current government. So also he was doing politics. I remember there's a time where he went, I don't know where he went, where he was buying those to Mapamela. How much is this? How much? So this is a 50 kwacha. Is it a bag of a 25 kg of meal? He was in active politics. So which means that when you're in active politics, the government cannot pay you. You start now attacking the same government, which is paying you. Doesn't work like that. So those issues that they are bringing up to say, no, there's this, it's not adding up to me. So them, they have to understand just like, so now he's gone, he's dead. What is supposed to be? It's not now in active body, because what it says in the law, I think even on the page of Mao Sampa, he said, government is supposed to sponsor the funeral according to the Zambian constitution. So now, how are the governments going to sponsor the funeral, but it is in South Africa? So that's why the government is, it's our duty, it's our responsibility, and we have what norms they were supposed to bury our former president. So now negotiation failed. So now they wanted to go ahead, but that's why now the government moved in. Let's go now to court, because that judgment between the Kaunda's family and the government, that one became now, it's our law now. We're supposed to follow that. Supposed to follow that. So that's why now the government went to court so that we bury the president. So those arguments that they are bringing in, that is not the issue. And then what it says when a former president died like this, which means that if there's a surviving spouse, supposed to be getting 50%, which means entitled to Kriva Esther. But the children, they are above 21 years. So which means they are not qualified to that. So for me, these issues, it's not, I don't know, there's someone who's complicating these issues. Trying to maybe, I don't know what they're trying to gain out of this. But I don't know side of the families. That's why last time I said, these people, do they have elders? Because you can't be mourning while you are quarreling with someone, with someone, which means that is not mourning. We can say, let's see, but then other things are going to be sorted out. But now we start now, no, we want this, we wish this. No, the former president wished this. No. How can the former president wish that? I think also that's why you are saying Zambia is a Christian nation, but how can someone who's dying wishing that? How can we go with a grudge in a grave?
Mm-hmm.
It's not right.
Okay.
And that person is not able to think.
Well said. Don't exhaust the point. Don't exhaust the points. Let's hear what everybody else has to say. But I don't know if Jeremy is back. Mr. Kanika, are you back or? Okay, I think
it's Mr. Macha who has come in now. He was doing one or two things.
Okay. So, Macha, yes, you go ahead. And we've just started the first topic. I don't know if he had the time to look at the topics, but of course, we're just talking about the stalemate that is there between government and the Lungu family. And we're asking ourselves, what's the big deal? Why is all this happening? Why are they trying to make the government look bad? Why are they still holding a grudge? Like, is it that something very serious that it cannot be resolved?
Yeah, I'm looking at it from the Constitution's point of view. Our supreme law of the land, when government gets aggrieved or an individual gets aggrieved, where do they run to? What law is there to bring things to normalcy? What law can be applied?
Yeah.
You see, if there's a law that is very important and we must protect it at all costs, it's the Constitution. That's why even when someone is aspiring to become the president, they mention that they will uphold the Constitution. Upholding the Constitution means doing what the minority can say because they are part of the Constitution. It's not always the majority. Sometimes, you see, every law is segregative. There's no law that will give it 50-50 for everyone. Somewhere, somehow, the law is unfair, but somewhere, somehow, the law is fair. And in this case, we may say that the law is unfair on the Lungus, but, okay, what else can we use? Let's take out the law. What we use? If the Attorney General cannot push in the agenda for the government, who else can, and what method can they do? Because initially they tried to do this outside the courts, but it failed. So when things fail, where do you run? They could have run to the church, but look, the church has chosen to be quiet. I don't know whether it has taken a side, but much as they have done whatever they have done, they could have done a little bit more. Because we had Christians for Lungu. For example, I'm just Christians for Lungu. Where are they? When you are a Christian, you are a brother's keeper. In moments like this, Christians for Lungu should have come up and said, biblically, the dead know nothing. And then we go ahead with the state funeral. But they are quiet. Wherever they are, I don't know. Coming to family, you see, everyone has a family tree. A family tree. You are saying somewhere you start and get down to the lowest, but we are not seeing this happening, and it's demeaning the former head of state. It's making him vulnerable to speculations that maybe he has no family, maybe he has no brother, he just has children, but even those children, they are toothless bulldogs. See, when my father, I remember when my father died, my uncle had to call me. My uncle had to call me to tell me that your father is no more. And when my brother died again, my uncle had to call me. I don't want to mention this uncle, but for the sake of everyone to learn, I'll tell you who this uncle of mine is. He's Mark Chona. You're familiar with this name, Mark Chona. He called me, more as I was, to tell me that your brother has died in Kalomo. What did that mean? He knew that this person who has died has a brother, and I am the uncle. The father to these children is no more, he's dead. So I assume the role of the spokesperson at family level. That happened, and I was humbled. Look, but as I was crying, but the man was so high in office, but he had to spare time to call me. That's what it means when you have a family, when you have someone who you can call a relative. They must come out in moments that are very hard. But here is a hard moment for the Lungus. Hard. We're not seeing we're just seeing a lawyer who now looks at the things from the law point of view. He's not looking at them from an ancestral point of view or traditional point of view. There's nothing. And when you talk about a lawyer, you're talking about money, you're talking about commerce. There's business here, he's trading. And you can't have someone making money out of a misfortune like death. Money that comes that way is short-lived. You can't. He's not doing those services for nothing. At the end of the day, he's going to be paid. And you don't get paid for funeral matters. We offer those services for free. But I'm yet to hear that Makebi is doing that for not. He's doing it on maybe he's doing it on pro bono. Pro bono, maybe.
Not even a Makebi Zulu, that they were staff here pro bono. Maybe you know?
So we need to look at things from that angle, that humane point. Lungu He's no more. From June, Mwewan, from June,
June
you're
5th.
just arguing. Coming to
Okay.
PF, coming
Let's
to PF. Shirapwisha.
okay, go ahead.
Let me go
Finish
to
up.
the party. Let me go to the party called Patriotic Front.
Mhm.
They are very unpatriotic to their former president, who is no more.
Mm.
Because to be patriotic simply means that you put the interests of even other people ahead of yours. Now, tell me, how have they put the late Lungu's interests first before theirs? They are just paddling an agenda where they want to just cause acrimony, where they want to cause a situation that is, they are causing a storm in a teacup, so that at the end of the day, people should say the government is bad. So if the government is bad, then we need PF to come back in power. No, we don't think like that. But at the end of the day, things will come out. The way things are now, we are seeing a situation where what goes around will definitely come around. May I end here for now? For now. May I end here?
Fantastic. I think about Danny just joined us, but Danny, we got we just started the first topic. I don't know if you had a chance to browse through, but we just on the first topic where there's a stalemate between the Lungu family and the government, and we're wondering why all this hullabaloo. Why can't they just agree to disagree so that the person rests? Yeah, what is so bad that happens that it has to reach to these extents? So you can just of course, tell us where you're broadcasting live. We got a few people from Zambia, and of course, I know where you're broadcasting live, but just for the sake of the people here, so that we introduce ourselves. Go ahead, but then.
Can I come in a bit? You know what I didn't do?
My mic was off. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Go ahead, but Danny.
All right. So I'm Danny Liswaniso here in Ontario, in a small little nice suburb of Milton, which is just 30 minutes from Niagara Falls, 40 minutes from Niagara Falls. Anyway, so my take on Lungu's issue. This issue has been discussed over and over and over and over. We're now entering what, 20-something days now? Well, we are now approaching
22 days since he passed.
days. Yeah. My take on this, as somebody who is in the medical field, is that if there's a disease caused by multiple failure of organs, that disease is likely going to kill that patient. All right. So in this case, Lungu's case is multifaceted. There are so many things going on at the same time. Is everyone? Am I clear? Oh.
Yes, we can get you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Loud and clear, but Danny, go ahead.
Okay. So for me, what I look at is that this problem has many facets. Okay. If it had only one facet, we would have solved it. It would have been resolved. But the problem I see here, there are many facets. The first problem I see is that of the Lungu family itself, as is this Hamwami?
Himwami, yes.
Hamwami said, first, there's a problem with the family itself. Okay, it's disjointed. It's not a typical Zambian family, so to speak. Okay, there's no structure, no nothing, no leadership in the family. So that's problem number one.
Tabai katananga mabanzi.
Yeah. Problem number two. Problem number two I see is that Lungu was hijacked by his party. Okay. the PF was stronger than the Lungu family. So what I'm seeing here is the Lungu family being hijacked, and then you have these parasitic political figures like Nakachinda and the Lubindas that were really 100% dependent on Lungu. They don't know. They are like so lost now. They don't know what to do because their life is the end. Lungu has died, even them it's as good as dying too. So these are people that had no future, no hope of surviving on their own. Their daily survival was depending on Lungu. And that's what we see here at play. So these people are ready to die because they don't know what's going to happen now, because they have no source of income, no nothing. It was just Lungu, 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 Lungu every day. So that's one thing I see. The third one, of course, is our clergy, this church. Our church definitely has failed us in the sense that they are supposed to, whenever there's something like this in the country, they're supposed to quickly organize themselves, call the two groups or warring parties and make them sit together. The church should do that many times. If they meet the first day, it doesn't work, they should call them the following day, it doesn't work, the third day. Up to today, the church was supposed to be doing it on a daily basis. But they have not done it at all. Actually, a church called the clergy at the other time, he had to invite them. Instead of them inviting him, he had to invite them to the state house. So the church has definitely failed the country. I don't know what's going on with that organization of theirs. To me, it doesn't look like an organization that's credible anymore in my eyes. Okay, they have failed in their role as clergymen. Thirdly, this is something that is now very complex. So, see, which between HH and Lungu, there definitely some serious political animosity between the two of them. There was, okay, now that one of them is dead, there was this deep political animosity, and what happened was the problem again. I bring it back to the clergy again. The clergy noticed that long time ago, but they never brought the two presidents together to negotiate. They didn't. Again, that's a failure of the clergy. And there are some NGOs that just want to talk. And their aim is just to publish these long publications in the papers. Their aim is not to bring peace. Instead of them championing peace by bringing the two people together to negotiate, look at we've seen so many past presidents negotiating. Sata actually made, they made peace with his predecessor and all these guys. So we've seen it happen in Zambia, but why not Lungu and HH? It never happened because people sat on the terraces and just watched. They wanted things to go bad so that people can revolt against HH and all that type of thing. That's all they were aiming for. They didn't come in to help. So because of this deep political animosity, the government stuck when Lungu said he's coming back to power. The government went back to the books to follow the rules word for word. They said, okay, you've come back to politics. We're gonna start now. You are an ordinary citizen like anybody. Now you are a political leader, fine, but you lose this. That was very clear to Lungu, and he was even boasting anyway that he had too much money, doesn't need too much money. It's fine. Never piri mumbi piri ati mwena imwe bade mpera tuma 10 kwacha kwata mumbi piri was yeah. So the government then followed the rules strictly by stripping off all those benefits we were supposed to have. But little did they know that could lead to death. The Lungu family didn't foresee this. All right. So the government followed it strictly, and now he dies. Now, what's the problem? The problem now, the human nature in them came out. The Lungu family now started looking at it from the normal perspective of being human and being, empathy. Okay, if someone is sick in Zambia, what do you do when your neighbor is sick and all that? So now they started looking at it from humanity aspect of it, not following the law, because for them the law was useless. They don't care. They had a bunch of money. They could do everything on their own. And now when he dies, they change the tone to say, look, he was neglected. He's supposed to have been helped. Look, Nawaki was not a former president, but she was helped. Chishimba Kambwidi was not a former president. He was helped. GBM was not a former president, but he was helped. So they started looking at it from that side.
Yeah, Maureen Mwanawasa too as well.
Yes. So they started giving these examples to say, look, we know that Lungu lost the benefits. Fine. But as humans, as Zambians, as Ubuntu, we don't do that in Zambia. We don't follow these rules in Zambia. We give help to people that are sick. And they gave examples of all this. A long list of people that did not deserve government's help when they were sick. They were flown to South Africa and the government paid the bills for them. So now they're saying, but Lungu, why Lungu? You didn't do it. No, but Lungu lost all the benefits. But Lungu lost all the benefits. But did Nawaki have the benefits, or did Chishimba Kambwidi have the benefits? No, he didn't have any. There's no law that says Chishimba Kambwidi should have been flown to South Africa. But you did it. So that's the core thing here. It's because the government is trying to say, we are following the rules. You left politics, came back. You don't deserve this. But come on, government. You have given help to people that did not even deserve that help. Why didn't you do it to Lungu? So that's the problem here. There's lack of sincerity from the point of view from the government. They were too strict on looking at the rules, and then they forgot the Ubuntu part of it. Okay?
No,
That
but
is
Danny,
Although Wadani on that point, Wadani on that point about the government giving a lending hand in terms of like supporting with the medicals. I think there was an update from cabinet. I think the Ministry of Health did make an update to say Lungu's doctor reached out to the government to say this man's issue needs immediate attention. So that was like early, I would imagine like early this year. And the government were okay with it, and they even offered to support with all the medical bills. It's on record.
Yeah.
I think Patrick Kangwa even has a document like that.
He refused.
But he turned down the offer, right?
He said, "I'll use my own money. This is good money."
He said, "I'll use because of the animosity, right?" So so I don't know. Like maybe it might be a little too late, but ultimately I think it's more like the culture we have in Zambia as well. It's like there's always this entanglement with former heads of states, right? It's always like, like HH right now. Like I think last time I was making a point to say he might not have outrightly come after Lungu, but like he's like he may have been going after his family, right? So he's gonna feel aggrieved, right?
Okay. So hold on, Masakala. I think about Danny, if you can just wind up, because the next person to talk actually is Masakala. So just wind up, and then Masakala, you can come in and you can exhaust your points.
All right.
Yeah.
So to me, the condition, I know how government operates. The conditions that